Welcome to an episode of the Root Culturist. In this episode, we talk about propagating Nepenthes with thinner stems. And also, we take a look at the cuttings which we did earlier on. So let's move on to the topic. On the left hand side, we have a thicker stem, which we are using the Amperella as an example. On the right hand side, we have the Gracilis, which has a thinner stem. For the process of propagating Gracilis or any plants with a thinner stem, the initial process is the same, which would be to cut all the leaves into half. And the reason for this is to reduce the water loss. It also helps to make the cutting easier to handle and also takes up less space. Next, we count the node on the plant. We're aiming for 3 to 4 nodes on a single stalk. That's 1 node, that's 2 nodes, and that's 3 nodes. Here you can see that we're contemplating on cutting the growing tip, but in most cases you could just cut it off, as the new growth will not be growing from that point anymore. It will be growing from a separate point. For this cutting, we ended up with 3 cuttings. So as you notice, for this case, we did not do any slits for the plant. You could consider a 45-degree angle cut, but typically for thinner stems, that is fine, they will usually root by themselves. So in this scene, we'll be looking at some of the previous cuttings that we did. In this case, the media had actually dried out, and as such, the plant had turned brown. So it's very important not to let the media dry out, or the cuttings will not root at all. In another cutting, the stems have actually rotted, and this is usually observed when the stem have turned black, or when it's soft to the touch. So this is just an example to show that not all cuttings will root. In another example, we had left the growing tip on, and as you can see, the tip had turned brown. But by looking at the overall appearance, the plant looks quite healthy, with no sign of turning black or feeling soft to the touch. If you encounter either, cut above the rod. Next, we look at how to spot some new growth. You can see the bud circled. That is usually one of the ways you can tell that the plant has rooted. Checking the plant can be done every 1 to 2 weeks. You could do it visually or physically. Here we are, feeling the cutting to ensure that it is not soft to the touch. For the other cutting, we have felt a slight tension, and this usually means that the plant has actually rooted. And we're going to transfer it to the new growing pot, but first don't forget to tag the plant. When preparing the media, it is always important to loosen the sphagnum. Followed by adding our 50-50 perlite peat mixture. Once done, we would drench it in water to ensure that the media is fully soaked in water. We would then place it in the perlite peat mix. Gently patting the media down, and then we would top dress it with sphagnum. Every day is a learning journey, so Nepenthes lovers out there, do drop us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. What is your rooting method? If you have enjoyed this video, show us some support by liking it, subscribing to our channel, and following us on Instagram at The Root Culturist. See you next time!